Hi, I'm Sarah from sewingmastery.com, and we're about ready to embark on over 20 videos on a cover stitch only machine. This is the bernette Funlock b42 cover stitch only. It does 4 stitches. It does 3 versions of a cover stitch, from 3 needles to 2 needles, a wide and a narrow, and a chain stitch. So a lot of people ask me, well, why would I want this machine over a machine that is both a serger and a cover stitch machine combination? So there's 2 ways to think about it, and then you pick what is right for you, because this isn't the right machine for everybody. But if you have gotten to a point where you do a lot of garment sewing, you work with a lot of knits, and you love that professional look of a cover stitch. Now, it's not just hems and on garments. You can use it in other places. I will be showing you lots of uses, including great places to use that chain stitch, because all the stitches in this machine actually come out very quickly. So if you needed to remove a seam, you go from the place you ended and remove that stitch from the last stitch to the first stitch, and it comes out just as quick. So those are things cover stitch people love in their machine. Think of it like this: if you have everything in one machine, so a serger and a cover stitch, they actually are 2 separate machines in the same housing. There's things you need to switch over to do cover stitch, and then things you need to switch back to do a serger stitch or an overlock stitch. If you don't have a lot of space and you don't use cover stitch a lot, having it all in one machine is actually not a bad idea, because you're only taking up a footprint for one machine. Now, if you're like me, there's times where I need to be serging, and then I need to turn around and I need to cover stitch, and then I need to serge again. And I just love that flexibility of not having to switch a machine back and forth. I would recommend that you pick a serger that you love and then add a cover stitch only machine to sit nearby, or even just to pull out for when you actually need to do all that great finishing stitches. This machine is just, that's all it does. It also allows it to be easier to thread, because once we get inside, you're going to notice that instead of all those other loopers, there's one looper. There's a cover stitch looper. There's no other place to thread it incorrectly. There's 3 needles, 2 needles, or 1 needle. You pick. Depends on what you're working on. We'll help you with those with all of our videos, which, by the way, check out all the links below. We've got you covered on lots of different ways. And the other thing, there's lots of information on craftsy.com, where you can find a lot of online courses for cover stitch machines, a lot of technique classes, and also ways to expand how and where you'd use this particular machine. These videos are going to be like fundamental videos, like how to and troubleshooting and needles and stitches and stitch length and everything. But I would recommend that you check out those Craftsy links below. I'm a Craftsy instructor, not on this machine, but I do have a serger class and a t-shirt quilt class. So I love being able to watch all those classes, always be learning something new. I would recommend the premium membership. That's the monthly fee that you might pay and get to watch all the classes across the entire platform. Or if you want, you can actually buy individual classes, and those are yours to keep. So if you like to binge watch Netflix, you're going to love the premium membership of Craftsy, because then you can watch anything and everything. It's not just sewing, and there's cake decorating and woodworking and scrapbooking and lots of things. So not just sewing or quilting, but there's crocheting and knitting and you name it, it's on there. So if it's a craft item, there's a whole group of classes. There's over like 1,500 online courses that you can take. So if you're a premium subscriber, you get to just watch whatever you feel like. So I highly recommend it. Check over to those cover stitch classes. We'll put those again below. But if you find yourself wanting 2 separate machines, serger and cover stitch, this is your cover stitch machine. Super easy to use. It always stays set up, and it's always ready to use, always at your fingertips.